What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Nitro Gaming. Team of the Season is now underway with the Team of the Season warm-up and the re-release of the best of promos we've seen over the last couple of months, including Team of the Week cards, which we are heavily invested in right now. So we're going to be talking about what is going to crash during this pre-Team of the Season market crash, and then what is actually going to be going up during this very uncertain time on the market. So if you guys are excited for today's video, do not forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel to not miss out on any Team of the Season content. Let's hop right into it. Do you guys need coins in FC25 Ultimate Team? Well, U7Buy has you covered. It's cheap, it's fast, and it's safe with 24/7 online customer support. Even big creators use it, and it has over 40,000 positive reviews. Make sure to use my link down in the description and use code NITRO for an extra 8% at checkout. And on top of all of that, you get a 19% newcomers coin bonus. Our investments have been doing very good this week. We've got a few coins of profit on Angerer, and we'll circle back to her card later, but the real profit has been coming from the Team of the Week cards that we all got for less than 12,000 coins, probably 11.5k on average. These cards we got for so cheap, and we have so many of these cards. So Botcha there for 12k was the most we spent on a single card, and we have pages and pages, and we even dabbled into some 88s like El Awaudi, Pablo Barrio, Schmidt, etc. There's a lot of Team of the Weeks on our transfer list. Hopefully there are some on yours as well, because when we take a look at how much these cards have risen from that 11.5 thousand coins, well, they're already up in just 2 days. They have risen not to 13, not to 14, not to 15, not to 16, but 17,000 coins, which means that after tax, which at this price is roughly 800 coins, we are making about 4, 5, or even 6,000 coins per card, depending on the exact price that we bought those cards for a 2-day hold at such a margin we bought those cards for and how many we got. That is an incredible profit. And if you wanted to sell right now, you could, because they might come down this weekend starting today at content release. And the reason for that is not just because Foot Champs Rewards is going to give Team of the Week cards in return, and that's going to add some tradable supply, but we're also going to be getting a best of re-release. All of these cards you see on your screen are going into packs this week, starting today for Team of the Season warm-up. And there are a lot of Team of the Week cards on here. Now, we do have cards like Bellingham, like Salah, like Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, even Araujo. Those cards aren't going to be fodder. They're going to be a little bit above that. So yes, maybe somebody who might pack these cards, if they don't want them, they might use them in an SBC. But nobody's going to the market, buying a Cristiano Ronaldo 89 and then just using that as fodder in an SBC. But they will use cards like Onabatie, like Fabian Ruiz, Lukaku, Mariona. These are fodder Team of the Week cards. They're going to be the cheapest Team of the Weeks in the game. And it's going to bring down the price from 17k, which is basically what every single Team of the Week card in the game is going for right now. Even the 85 rated Team of the Weeks are going for about 15,000 coins or even more. Take a look right here. Not a single Team of the Week for less than 15k. You go up to 16, you're going to see a few for, 85s, 83s, some of the lower rated Team of the Weeks. But I think they come down a little bit this weekend. However, do you want to hold or do you want to sell? I think selling is definitely safe. If you don't want to take any risks and take an incredible profit, that's the way to go. But if you want to hold long term, that is another way to go, because I really do think that these cards are going to do very well over the course of the next couple of weeks. Take a look at last year. This Romelu Lukaku, I just randomly searched a Team of the Week card. I just assumed Lukaku had one last year. He did. It was in Team of the Week 4. So here's how he fluctuated during Team of the season. So of course, during March, he had spiked up. He was very rare, and he was down at about 19,000 coins, maybe 22,000 coins by the time that Team of the Season began. This card was not meta. this card was not being used in teams. This card was strictly SBC fodder. Nobody was using this Lukaku. There was no evolutions that were picking him up in price in mid-April. This card went from 19K to 44,000 coins because of SBCs, because he was fodder, and because Team of the Weeks were super rare. Team of the Week 30 was the last Team of the Week, and those cards went up because of that rarity. They just weren't being supplied anymore. I think the exact same thing is going to happen over the next couple of weeks for Team of the Week cards. There might be a few requirements we see on SBCs, whether it's upgrade SBCs or Team of the Season guarantees, where they might say, hey, you need an 87 rated squad, and you need an Team of the Season or Team of the Week player in your squad. Team of the Seasons are a little tougher to pack. They're going to be a little bit more expensive and higher rated, which means that using Team of the Week cards might be very popular over the course of the first couple of weeks if that requirement is going to be in SBCs again this year. So Team of the Week cards, I think you could sell right now, take your profit. You could reinvest this weekend if you do sell, or you could hold these cards throughout and just hope for the best, because it really does come down to what EA Sports are going to do with the requirements. But let's go ahead and talk about the rest of these cards, because Team of the Week's obviously a big factor for our investments currently. But what about these other cards in here, like Rashford, Marmoush, Kvaratskhelia, and so on and so forth? We've got a lot of cards from a lot of the promos we've seen since Team of the Year. So pretty much everything from Team of the Year all the way up until now, other than Immortals, is in this promo, and there's a lot of very usable cards that you might want to be opening some of your packs early to try to pack. I'm personally going to save, but these are some good cards that are at least going to keep up with the power curve somewhat over the next couple weeks before Team of the Season absolutely takes over. But what should we do with some of these cards like Kvaratskhelia, who is absolutely crashing in price now due to the fact that he's going to return to packs? He's 1.4 million coins right now. Taking a look at his graph, he was sitting at about 1.9 million coins before this team got leaked. So what do we do with that information? Well, I wouldn't buy right now. I still think he goes lower than what he is at 1.5 million coins. One, he's going to be in packs for a full week now. And two, he's also going to fall with the hype of Team of the Season. I do believe a market crash is on its way. We're going to see cards like Immortals that are even going out of packs or have been out of packs. Cards that are very expensive, like Bale, like Zola here for 1 million coins. I do expect them to drop, another 10, 15, maybe even 20% over the course of this week. And I think we're going to get hit the hardest on Wednesday. That is going to be the time to buy a lot of these cards that are very expensive and very meta. Because even though these cards like Bale and Zola, who have 3 playstyle pluses, it's going to be a little more normalized. There's a lot of Team of the Seasons that are going to be juiced like that. They're still going to be usable. And people are panic selling and going to be preparing for Team of the Season by selling these cards. So I do think that if you want to invest in very expensive cards, Wednesday is probably going to be the time to do so, and that's going to also be the truth for these cards. But maybe since they're in packs, wait until the end of Wednesday, then we're going to get division rival rewards on Thursday morning, and they could go a little bit lower then. So Wednesday or Thursday when it comes to these cards. I think definitely Wednesday when it comes to any of the most recent promos, even the ones that are currently in packs. I think Wednesday is going to be the time to buy these. And take a look at last year in FC24 when we look at cards like Roberto Carlos, who was in the Golazzo promo. The Golazzo icon, Roberto Carlos, that card actually did go down a little bit more after he went out of packs. This card was, he didn't actually go down a ton more. This card was still pretty cheap during the next week, but he didn't actually go down more. But take a look at what happened once Team of the Weeks or Team of the Season started, because that's what I really want to show you guys. So this is the week after he's out of packs. He's sitting at about 600,000 coins, and then Team of the Season starts there on Friday, April 19th. and he just continues to rise and rise and rise. Goes all the way to 900,000 coins before he kind of settles down and stops rising. That's a very, very big rise. Go ahead and take a look at Didier Drogba from what was the Immortals promo last year, FC24. The Immortals promo from FC24 was called Golazo. So I think he had a Golazo icon. There it is. Golazo Drogba last year. This card did the exact same thing once Team of the Season began. Take a look at it. Right here is when Team of the Season began. 494,000 coins all the way up to 900,000 coins. So I guess what I will say is maybe I am wrong about these Immortal cards that are currently in packs, especially Team 2. Team 2 might rise a little bit over the next couple of days, depending on the card. Still, it's pretty safe to buy this upcoming week, no matter the card. But these cards right here are going to skyrocket once Team of the Season actually begins. I think even going in on a card like Buffon might not even be a bad shout, because this card is only 275K. And even though we are going to get some big goalkeepers for Team of the Season, I just can't imagine that the Ligue 1 goalkeeper is going to replace icon cards like Buffon quite yet. So I would assume that Buffon is going to do pretty well out of packs over the course of the next couple of weeks. So that's a card that's more medium budget that you guys can go in on. And looking at some of the cheaper cards like Del Piero might be a shout. That card at 50,000 coins, 3 playstyle pluses, all of them pretty good. It's not a bad shout right there. Cards like Wayne Rooney, the 93 rated version, I think is a really good investment. Even some of the more expensive ones you could go in on, but I like the smaller budget ones personally. I think that Buffon, Rooney, Del Piero are probably some of my favorites. Maybe the 89 Zambrata. This is a card that might be able to fit into some evolutions in the near future because he plays so many different positions and he's only 89 rated. That could be a shout. He actually already does fit the test of time evolution as well as Hawk Tua evolution, which came out yesterday and is free. Either way, speaking of evolutions, we are going to get some new evolutions today and tomorrow because we have a leaked 90 rated maximum right mid evolution set to come to Ultimate Team. There's going to be a new 5-star skill boost, a finesse shot plus, which I think is the best play style in the game for forwards. Obviously, there's going to be a stat boost, but we also have a leaked left mid and left wing evolution, maximum 90 rated. Now, Foot Police Leaks also responds to some of the replies saying if a certain card fits or not. So Neymar Jr., 90 rated, does fit. This Neymar Grassroots is going to fit into this evolution. We're also seeing 88 Rafael Leao. This is an evolved Rafael Leao. Doesn't fit into the evolution. So some cards fit, some cards don't. If you look through all of them, saying they don't fit and do fit, you might be able to come up with what the maximum stats are and what the maximum play styles are for this evolution, because he does not reveal that for either of these, but we are probably expecting one of them to drop today. So we're going to see some right mids and some left mids going up in price and probably hitting the front page of Footbin. So keep an eye on right mids and left mids, and maybe if you have some right mids or left mids still on your transfer list, maybe give it a couple hours just to see what happens. So that's going to be about it for today's video. Actually, that's not true. We're not done yet. I have one more thing to talk about that I forgot about, which is going to be the SBCs that are on the way, guys. The SBCs that are on the way, like, obviously we've talked about some of them. Lee Kang-in, we've got De Jong, we've got Eriksson, we have Eto, Drogba on this day SBC, big striker icon SBCs on the way, and we have to circle back to Angerer. Do we sell or do we hold this Angerer who we got for like 89, 90,000 coins? Do we sell or do we hold? Well, fellas, we are looking straight at the re-release team, and we see that there's really no huge cards that are going to turn into fodder. I mean, take a look at it. Rashford, Marmoush, and Kvaratskhelia are all over 1 million coins. Those 95 rated are not fodder. Wilson, Leao, Yamal, Sam Kerr might be a little cheaper, and Crystal Dunn definitely is fodder. Crystal Dunn is fodder, but those 95s up there are not going to be competing with Angerer for fodder prices, and when we get big SBCs on the way, like Eto'o, Drogba, and some others, I do think that some of the high-rated fodder this week is going to go up in price. I'm going to hold. Some people have been selling for 100K. Right now, 95K. That's actually 96 maybe. She was sitting at like 99,000 coins like an hour ago. But we actually do see Crystal Dunn here at 104K. So here's the thing. The 95 rated Angerer is cheaper than the 94 rated Dunn still. So I think that obviously if you want to go high rated, you're going to use Angerer. But I think that not a lot of people are going to be opening packs this week. Even though Crystal Dunn will come down a little bit in price, not a lot of people are going to be opening packs. They're going to be saving for Team of the Season, which means that these fodder cards that are needed for SBCs should be a little bit more rare, and there's not going to be a lot of competition with other fodder that is in packs. At least that's my take. I'm going to hold on to the Angerer. We'll see what happens over the next couple days. One thing I'll tell you, I'm going to sell the card before Team of the Season starts, no matter what. So this week, I'm going to sell at some point. If you want to sell now and take the small profit, you can do so and not take any risks at all. But now that's it for today's video. Drop a like in the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe so you don't miss out on TOTS content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.